Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody. You may never see this. Siegfried Alexander Faust, the Wiv, come back to you with another little quick, relatively podcast. Just talking about some anime stuff with a buddy here, Soul. Would you be able to say hi?
Yo,
And so, just take this opportunity to try to go in some genres or just kill some time, do a quick little podcast. So, start off. Uh, what is anime? What do you think the definition of anime is, Soul?
oh, you're trying to get me shot already. All right. Uh, any sort of cartoon medium made in Asia.
So, a style of Japanese film and television animation typically aimed at adults as well as children. So, this is where an argument could come up where that stuff produced in Western areas doesn't count as anime, like Avatar The Last Airbender, but it's actually not. Technically, anything outside of specifically Japan is technically not anime. The term also anime is short for animation, and it is a colloquial term based off of Western stuff of animation, just spun for their own thing. So, unfortunately, a lot of stuff can be deemed anime via their art style and reproduced, and be 100%. If you just took something made in Japan and produced it in America or bought the rights, it would technically lose the fact that it's anime just because of that. Um, so why is it popular, successful? I think personally that what anime is just people have always enjoyed political cartoons. It's kind of one of the origins of cartoons, along with cave paintings. Mankind's like to express themselves through art to tell a story, not necessarily using words. And because it's animated, you can. I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about other things. So you can do things that are not physically possible with real people, and you can tell stories beyond the normal bounds of reality, which I think is a niche thing that other reality can't match up with our own limitations of physics in human bodies. And I've noticed if you go hunting through anime, and not even necessarily the mature stuff, X-rated H content, Roger, that they will push the boundaries more on the non-mature content that is still able to air versus other things. The close runner-ups is basically what comes to my mind for Western is Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. Would you say that what are your thoughts on why it's popular or successful?
Probably because it talks about things that you don't really see in kids' cartoons, but it's not. It still has that approachability of a cartoon.
So, you think it's because kids are able to appreciate it, or just younger mindsets or mindsets in general has better approachability compared to non-anime?
Probably, yeah. Especially for like teenagers.
Okay. Speaking of teenagers, that goes into a Japanese thing of Niite Hikikomoris, which is of course a Japanese term, but it's kind of meant for people that have kind of lost their way in life. And I don't want to detract too much, but they've kind of just gone all into anime, and that goes into buying figurines, all the Idol Master games, and all that. Any. But this goes for
Funko
any
Pops.
Funko Pops. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. This goes for anything. If you just love uh, anything too much in excess can be bad, but anime kind of has this suki suki des where the entire large amount of the genre of what is anime, of many parts of the different genres, kind of feel a little homogenous and kind of lures people into just being lackadaisical because they're able to enjoy these stories and they think stuff is okay. I mean, hell, there was something I laughed at, which there's an anime about a girl that runs away from her life problems, and some dude is like, "You just stay at my house." Obviously, sketch and sus, but nothing actually sexual happens. He even pushes her away from that. But then, real life, a dude does that. Girl runs away. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you can stay at my." And he's like, "Dude, she's
He did something
14."
he saw in an anime.
Yeah, there's an anime. Yeah, and there's memes for it. It's like, dude, no, that's illegal. You know what? If you want to do the right thing, then you got to bring her. It's technically. I actually don't know if at least in America it's technically illegal. I think it isn't, but don't just call the police. Inform some people. Bruh.
Definitely suspect.
Yeah, there's no way that is not sus. Um, and so yeah, anime helps people via escapism and kind of they are sick with the way things are. You're able to see more violence, more love, more ecstasy, more comedy, ridiculous things, things beyond the normative that you would see in real life or even in other media forms. And so that's something that media can bring you, and just fantasy stories, the isekai, otherworld, alternate reality possibilities. It lets us explore imagination. So that's, I think, a fair thing for why it's popular and fun or successful. Um, so going on from that, slight more. Another reason it's successful, it's an adaptation of manuscripts of drawing, so manga, cartoons, graphic novels, um, to bleed off of anime. The DC animated films are far more successful and entertaining, in my opinion, and many others apparently, than the DC movies. Ironically, Marvel live action is very good, but their animation's kind of slacking. And so there is a good amount of stories to be told via animation, West and East. But it's just so much more popular in Japan post World War II, post nukes, that they've just gone through a cute phase, and not going to all of that, but what has come out of it, I like it, and a lot of other people like it too. Um, Actually, I will detract and say, have you seen the meme, Soul, of like Japan before World War II, and it's like samurai Japan post World War II, like after nuke, and it's like a guy looking like a girl in a Sailor Moon outfit.
It's Adolfo, yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, it's like, what happened? Was it the radiation? So many different genres. There's hentai, which is obviously mature sexual. There is slice of life, which is just casual things. There's action stories. What basically is a majority genre now, isekai, another world story. I think I generally personally tend towards going to isekai. Boy, I like to try to find something different, so I'll check every isekai out. It's my weakness, but I won't stick with it unless it's got good story or it's really funny. And I like stuff that's gory and graphic, because I don't like it when if it's not a slice of life. If it's slice of life, it's different. But if it has combat and people are fighting for their lives, I expect their lives to be on the line. I don't like it where it's like we beat each other up and then we all hold hands and we have the power of love in the end. Fuck that. Like, people need to die.
I agree, but I also don't mind non-gory bloodshed. As an odd thing to say, but...
No, yeah. I mean, it has its moments, of course. Like, I like Hijime no Ippo, I believe. So basically, it's just a boxing anime. People aren't supposed to die. They're boxing. And it's not like, oh, people are bleeding all over the place. No. It's martial arts. It's not actual, like, oh, my 5,000-year-old secret Chinese martial arts lets me see through walls and, shoot laser cannons out of my ass. It's not like weird-ass anime martial arts stuff, or I could, bench press 5,000 pounds martial arts. Fucking Baki martial arts. I love Baki, but no. So that one, Hajime no Ippo, is actually just a boxing anime, and it's very accurate to anime. And the main character doesn't win. The dude actually progresses, but he gets knocked down a lot, and he can't. And he gets knocked back in the placings because some people are just better. And so it's not like, oh, the protagonist does everything. They're overpowered. Because a lot of tropes in different animes outside of isekai, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like things will come up a lot. The same thing over and over, the same kind of gag.
Yeah, but that's the same for all storytelling medium, because there's certain character archetypes and certain situations that we just find useful or entertaining.
I'm trying to remember.
Like the hero's journey, like that's everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's something everyone can relate to.
The guy, I always forget his bloody name. Who published the hero's journey, but it's pretty fucking accurate. And you break down a lot of stories. I've been enjoying comedians when they break down stories and how they're similar, like Star Wars, Harry Potter, and stuff. Let's see, other things for anime. Is there any anime you tell people to watch or not watch, or you got like a top 3 favorite?
Top three favorite. All right. We're gonna go with
And like a one
Overlord's
sentence why.
Overlord's definitely in there.
Okay.
Because that's a fun show, and it's not. I don't know. It's more interesting to me than a lot of other isekais.
Okay.
Uh, let's see what else. Top three. Macross for being what is probably the first anime I ever saw, and a decent mecha for its day.
I'm a little surprised at the Macross pick. Okay.
Uh, one more. Oh, Spy Family. How could I not mention that?
Wow.
I love Anya. The show is funny, but Anya gives it soul.
Okay, that is extremely popular right now. That and then Chainsaw Man went down, but that was also rising. I feel like it's a bit of a fandom thing where it's like the newest thing, but money talks, and she is very cute. And also, I personally love all the cosplay stuff at conventions where it's like Anya interacting with Deadpool or like other characters or Jack Sparrow. She and Jack Sparrow running around. She's adorable.
I never really cared for Chainsaw Man. I know a lot of people hyped it up, but when I looked at it, I was like, this is gonna be just another unnecessary gore anime. I was like, meh.
Okay. If I had to say, I'm like going over my top five. My top five is easy, but like showing it down to top three is really hard. Unless you want to add two more, I'm just gonna have to do top five. I can't narrow it down to top three.
You can do five. I could throw more in there, but it's probably just gonna be basically a duplicate, like another isekai or another rom-com slice of life thing.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I do know my top three, but I will just do quick honorable mention. Quick honorable mention to Berserk, and it kills me to say this, but Dot Hack's Fruits Basket, barely. It's almost tied with Dot Hack Sign, but Berserk, it influenced the Dark Souls series, a lot of graphic novels, video games, and mindsets. Big man with sword, stoicism, very combat, gory, great story. And then Fruits Basket, barely. I don't like the new anime, the one that actually finishes the story, because they have a time frame to keep, and so they can't fill up with odd little moments and silly music and stuff. For the failing to speak English that the last one did, because the pacing felt better when they filled it up with fluff. It made it feel like overall more enjoyable with better pacing. And so the new one is because they're trying to get the story through. I can't enjoy it as a slice of life as much, but the character was an absolute delight, nicest character ever in any story. But my top three, I get those out of the way because I love them, is probably in order: Code Geass, and then Dot Hack Sign and Trigun. Code Geass, you got your magic, you got your Gundams, and you got your political intrigue, and you got the sine wave of storytelling, which is popular, down up down, down up, etc. Or up down up, which is Star Wars. Every version of the trilogy 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is up down up for the storytelling. And so I like the Dot Hack Sign for that. And I think it has the best ending out of any fucking story ever told, anime or otherwise. I'll die on that hill. For the show. The movie doesn't exist. Don't talk about that. Trigun.
Yeah, among the animes that did not get converted to live action, we have Dragon Ball Z, Avatar, and the American Netflix Death Note.
Yeah.
We're all grateful that none of those got adapted.
Trigun. I felt like Trigun was a better version of a couple other animes, and it technically predates them. And I'm not 100% if it predates Monster for the manga than the Monster manga of the like psychopathic neurological thing of like Kira versus L of like, well, is it murder if you kill bad people? And that's a whole other thing of like the governmental defining what murder is and okaying it or not and death. But Trigun is a Mad Max space western, and unfortunately, it has also been re-released. So I'm rewatching it, but I don't like the animation style. It is the 3D animation, which I can suck up for a few things, but I don't like it for Trigun. It didn't finish with the story, and they just did a quick ending, and it ends almost with like a Bible verse sometimes with the beginning or ending of the episode of a moral lesson. Like some stuff is just hard. Like there will be losses in life. You can't save the butterfly from the spider and keep the spider alive. It needs to eat the butterfly. And so because carnivores exist, there will be an imbalance. And so this dude who wants to save everyone but is a space psychic plant killer western gunner man hippie can't. And so his brother is like, you're an idiot, you're a hippie. And so the main character is lovable, but I'm just ranting. It's space western Mad Max with good feel vibes. Dot Hack Sign, I'd probably say that one because it was the first trapped in a video game anime. In some ways, it wasn't the first isekai, but it's close. A lot of other isekais and trapped in video games or video game stuff rip off of Dot Hack Sign and don't even credit it. And the main character is actually, for all the woke scene, goes through some like gender nonconformity stuff, and I think it's extremely good storytelling actually. And it's not in the sense of how things are currently done, at least with Western pressure into the gender spectrum and all that. It's the sense that, well, he / she, they are not in their body anymore, and they may not ever get back to their body, and they're in a different virtual body. So who's to say what matters what they are now anymore? And I think that was a progressive standpoint, and it wasn't even like they didn't. That's not even part of the fucking narrative. That's just something that happens as well, because they're like, well, shouldn't you give a shit about going back to your real life? And they're like, no, my real life, I was abused at home and I was like crippled and shit. Like, fuck real life. And so I felt it approached a lot of deep narratives while still having like a fucking video game anime. So I was very impressed for the time, and the opening is amazing. Let's see, anything else for anime, good or bad? Bad, I would say stereotype hentai that has left a stigma mark on all of anime. Good, there's amazing stories and some beautiful artwork for combat scenes and just simple relaxation scenes, stuff that in the art industry is becoming more and more surreal. That is like, I'm not sure if that's real or a deep fake. And anime can do that for beautiful, fantastical worlds that don't exist. What do you think is some good or bad about anime?
I think you can much more easily, the creator that is, get the emotions and the setting that they want to get across, because you don't have a set piece budget and you determine how the actor looks and behaves. So I think that makes it a lot more easy for the creator to tell the story that they want. Bads about it? Probably with any other, the same thing as any other fantasy medium, you might get some unrealistic expectations in life, but you gotta deal with it. Life ain't peaches and roses.
Okay, I'm gonna detract real quick. So since you said that, there was an interview done with the wonderful happy actor who played the fucking fat guy in Game of Thrones, and he received a very angry letter from a viewer of the show saying it was unrealistic that his character was still fucking fat. after traveling the mountains and going across these lands and the snow and everything. And he's like, this is a fantasy world with dragons and ice zombies. And the fact that my guy is still fat is what you can't believe. Really?
I cry about it.
Really? You can't get your head around that? Let's see. If I think everyone should check out anime, in the sense that you should experience a lot of things. I get because of some stigmas or disinterest, etc. People might get rubbed the wrong way and not even give anime a chance. There's a lot of different genres. People might not like some things and they might like other things. But I feel like anime isn't given a chance. I'd say check out the popular stuff. And if you want to know what to stay away from, I have a video for that. Don't watch those on that video. I have a top 10 list of trap anime. The sucker you in, and it's a bad idea. I don't know. I don't think there's anything I would really discuss otherwise. Chinese anime is actually getting pretty fucking good. There's not a bunch, but there's a samurai one that's coming out later this year, and Poppy on the Hill, I think, or the 5 Poppies on the Hill, is one that deals with spirits and concentrating mana for the 5 elements. I think it's 5 elements on the Poppy Hill. That's what it's called. That has extremely beautiful animation, and for the people that don't think it's worth investing into, hey, all you fuck nuggets, you like Demon Slayer? Guess what Demon Slayer's art style is based off of? Chinese animation. So that's why people were like, whoa, it's so cool. I don't know if there's is there anything else you'd want to talk about anime, or you think we should bring up for people who like it or don't know about it?
When you're first getting into it, go for the things that are popular, because there's a lot of clones and similar shows that are only different in that they cater to a specific niche. So it's probably better to go with what everybody likes when you're first dipping your toe in, and then look for your own specializations.
I think if I had to recommend any anime, it wouldn't even be the ones you or me talked about. One actually would be. I would think for people that don't like combat, but can handle a little bit, Spy X Family, or maybe not even that, but that's okay because it's not heavy. And then people that want like a more really deep story, Death Note or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's like, and not fucking One Piece, not One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach. I like 2 out of those 3.
I'm gonna recommend Dragon Ball Z though. I don't care.
Oh no, yeah, Dragon Ball Z. I will recommend Z, but not Super.
Watch the original Dragon Ball. It's great.
And Dragon Ball as well, yeah. I feel like a lot of older animes you just don't get looked at because, they're not trending or older animation, etc., which I can feel that, but they got good stories. I don't know. I mean, there's still other stuff coming out. If you watch anime and you wish you had more, because, I don't think there's anything that's really piquing my interest right now a whole lot. I'm checking out some old stuff, so check out old stuff, and if nothing is there even, check out light novels, go through manga, and then it doesn't have to be Japanese. You can go through manhwas, which are Korean-based web comics, or just graphic novels from West, which is DC Comics, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, Dark Horse. So you get your Aliens, the Earth Wars, a lot of good stuff.
If you want to read something that's in kind of the same realm as what's the manga with guts?
Berserk.
Berserk. If you want to read something in the same genre as Berserk, go look at Godslap. I'm pretty sure that's made here in America.
With that said, I think we've covered a lot of anime. If anybody has any questions, I guess, do you think we've covered it for this?
I do.
Okay. Like, share, subscribe, say hello to myself or Soul here, and have a good rest of your day. Later.